Hi, this is Rick Terrio, your Maine real estate guide on location at my newest listing. And today what I have for you is a property that I'm really struggling with what to call it. I usually have pet names for my properties, so I've got a couple of names I'm going to throw out there. And if you would, in the comment section, tell me which name you think is most appropriate for this property. But the two that I'm going to be working with today, as I describe the property, is Someday Ranch and Prepper's Paradise. So those are your choices. So in the comments below, pick your best, and we'll see which one we're going to run with. So welcome to LaGrange, Maine, and I'm going to talk to you right now about Someday Ranch. And one of the most I've been selling real estate for a fair number of years now, and the dream that many people have had that have contacted me, and especially regarding a property that has some land, is they dream about a property that they can come to, they can cut down some trees, they can mill that wood into dimensional lumber, and they can build their dream home. So welcome to Someday Ranch. So, as you can see behind me are some towering pines. There's I don't know how many thousands of board feet of pine lumber a person could mill from the standing timber here. But Someday Ranch is 93 plus or minus acres of land in the town of LaGrange, Maine, accessed off the Medford Road. Medford Road is a town-maintained public road. There is power at the street, but this property does not have power on it. It's got a long private driveway, so if you wanted to have utility power, you would have to have the power line extended up to the property. But the property is powered by a 22.5 kilowatt diesel generator. So this property is high and dry, and it's got reasonably good soils. There's a beautiful garden spot you'll see in a little bit, but there are stockpiles of material scattered around the property. This is nice loamy stuff here that you know, if you wanted to put some raised beds in or expand, do some more landscaping, this is nice, rich, dark earth that would grow about anything very, very well. So once you cut down those pine logs and you want to mill them into dimensional lumber to build your dream home, you need a sawmill, and we have one right here that is conveying with the property, a bandsaw mill. In the storage building in the back are all the materials to maintain this sawmill: spare belts, spare blades, blade sharpening equipment, if there's anything that could break, the parts are in there. It's so back to the two names I have for this property, Someday Ranch and Prepper's Paradise. You know, if you're into preparedness, you want spare parts, and you don't want just one part. You need at least two parts, and I bet they're here in this storage building. So if you're looking for a place to bug out to, this property would serve that purpose very well. If you're looking for a place to build your someday dream home that's off-grid, private, with good hunting potential, a place where you could raise your own vegetables and pretty much be left alone, do what you want to do, well, come to Someday Ranch. So I don't know if you folks can see it. It's a little dark in here. I didn't turn any lights on, but this is wired for some electric lights. But look, there are dozens of sharpened saw blades on the walls here to keep that sawmill running at peak performance. So and spare parts to maintain, spare belts, spare everything right here. So here's another component for the sawmill. I believe it's the plane to smooth out the rough sawn lumber and make it more finished. So right here's the garden spot for the property, and which could be expanded. There's plenty of room to make it larger, but it's got really nice soil. The plants that are in here currently are doing very well. There's squash and beans and and sunflowers and tomatoes, cucumbers. So if it grows in Maine, you can grow it here. So in addition to the 93 plus or minus acres and some standing timber and a working sawmill, on Someday Ranch is this 1,500 plus or minus square foot cabin that you can live in year round. The fellow that built it did live here year round. There's a dug well, a septic system, hot and cold running water. It's wired for lighting, and again, there's a 22.5 kilowatt diesel generator for power. There's a small solar system for some lighting in the evening. It's got gas appliances, and it's heated with wood stoves. What a beautiful spot to get up in the morning, brew a pot of coffee, come out and sit down and just plan your day. So adjacent to the cabin is this little pond that the owner had dug out. He utilized it. You can see some logs floating in here because he would float his wood to keep it from drying out and cracking prior to milling. But that wood could be fished out, the water cleared up. If you wanted to put an aerator in here or something to get rid of the sediment. Right now it's home to turtles, frogs. You get some visiting wildlife to get a drink, but it's a nice little feature right off of just right beside the cabin. So what a spot. You got a beautiful little cabin here in the woods, nice little pond, great place to have a cup of coffee or a cocktail in the evening. So also on this property, this is this nice large chicken coop that again all the materials were milled right on site, and this coop built. It's been a while since he's kept chickens, so again, you can never have enough storage, and so it's currently being utilized as a storage building. But if you clean it out and put the materials that are in here and store them elsewhere, you could fill this with 2 or 3 dozen laying hens. They'd find it quite a cozy and attractive home. So the 93 acres here at Someday Ranch, or Prepper's Paradise, your choice of a name. Again, please comment below and pick your favorite name. It's heavily wooded with a variety of species. There's softwood stands here, mixed wood stands, and hardwood stands. Here around me, we've got a hardwood stand with lots of birch, some cherry. There's some maple sticking up over there. The maples are definitely large enough to put 1 or 2 taps in if you wanted to have a sugaring operation. You know, it would be difficult to have a commercial operation here, but if you wanted to make enough maple syrup for your own use, you can make it here. So here we are right off the Medford Road, and what you can see behind me is what used to be a railroad track. but the rails have been pulled up as well as the tracks, and that's converted to an ATV and ITS trail system. So it's the rail bed trail, and and part of the property does directly abut that trail system, so you'd have direct ATV and ITS trail access from the property. Also, right beside me here is Robert's Rocky Brook, which is a slow moving, deep, meandering body of water that kind of drains this region. There are brook trout in it. It would be a very pleasant paddle either in the evening with a canoe or maybe a small kayak. And I bet from time to time you'd come around a corner on a grassy meadow and see a nice moose or a deer feeding on some of that grass along the water's edge. What a pretty spot. But this property is coming to market soon. 93 plus or minus acres, 1,500 plus or minus square feet of living space, sawmill, standing timber, a beautiful piece of private accessible ground. So, you know, back to Someday Ranch. Why wait for someday when someday could be today? So if today's your day, pick up that telephone and call Rick Terrio, your Maine real estate guide, at area code 207-731-9902, and make Someday Ranch your dream and your reality. And also please comment, you know, whether you think Someday Ranch is the best name for it, or Prepper's Paradise, or what have you. When you buy it, you can name it, but for now, let's see what kind of feedback we get on both of those names. But it's a heck of a property coming to market pretty quick, and so if you see something you like, please call and I'll get you right up here. So if you're new to this channel, please like and subscribe and hit that bell so that you're notified when we bring new properties to the market. You know, our inventory is ever changing. Sometimes things show up and they disappear pretty quick because if they're priced right, they don't last. So like and subscribe, comment below, and there's a lot more information available if you hit the link. That'll be below on your computer. You probably won't see it on your television set, but if you're on your computer, you should see a link to a property map, geocoded photos, property disclosures, on and on. We'll provide all kinds of information. And if you want to come have a personal tour of the property, call Rick Terrio, your Maine real estate guide, at 207-731-9902, and we'll give you a tour of Someday Ranch.